The morning sun hadn't even crested Manila Bay when the headlines hit. Philippine Navy's new frigate packs, heavy firepower. Social media buzzed with speculation, excitement, and a hint of anxiety. The news spread like wildfire, echoing across chat groups, news feeds, and breakfast tables. Naval watchers sat up straight, eyes glued to screens, analyzing every detail and implication. For them, this was more than just another headline. It was a signal, a shift in the tides of regional power. Something big had shifted, but most citizens only sensed a tremor beneath their daily routines. The true weight of the announcement was lost in the morning rush, hidden behind the ordinary hum of city life. Beneath the surface, leaders had quietly rewritten the rules in Southeast Asia's maritime contest. No brass bands played, no flag-waving ceremonies. Instead, decisions were made in hushed tones, behind closed doors, far from the public eye. Instead, a cold, hard announcement, buried deep in the defense news columns, confirmed a deal with South Korea for new warships. The partnership was strategic, calculated, and carried out with little fanfare. The HDF-3200, a compact 3,500-ton frigate, was coming. Sleek, modern, and bristling with advanced weaponry, it promised to change the face of the Philippine fleet. But unlike the usual fanfare, this was a move wrapped in mystery and careful timing. The announcement was almost a whisper, calculated to avoid drawing too much attention, at least for now. What did this really mean for the Philippines? Why the shadowy reveal? Was it a warning, a promise, or simply a quiet assertion of strength? For too long, the Philippine Navy fielded old ships and aging hardware, relics of past decades that struggled to keep pace with modern threats. But this time, the game was different. The arrival of the new frigates signaled a turning point, a leap into a new era of naval capability. A new power quietly stirred in the archipelago's waters, reshaping the balance in the region. Rivals would take notice, and allies would watch with renewed interest. The story begins not with a parade, but with a whisper, one that could soon roar, changing the course of the nation's maritime destiny. Few outside military circles noticed the HDF-3200 contract signing. It was a moment that slipped quietly beneath the radar, overshadowed by the daily noise of politics and global headlines. There were no viral leaks, no politicians clamoring for credit. The usual spectacle of flashing cameras and bold statements was conspicuously absent. The defense secretary and top admirals inked the papers in a quiet room, far from cameras and microphones. The atmosphere was serious, almost somber, as if everyone present understood the gravity of what was being set in motion. It was a bold act of restraint in a region where big defense buys often make big headlines. In Southeast Asia, such deals are usually front-page news, sparking debates and speculation. The choice was deliberate. The Philippines had watched, learned, and waited. Years of careful observation had taught them the value of patience and discretion. Instead of broadcasting intentions, planners kept their cards close. Every detail was guarded, every move calculated to avoid tipping their hand too soon. The deal with South Korea's Hyundai Heavy Industries was significant. Almost $600 million for 2 advanced frigates, with options for more. It was a partnership built on trust, technology, and shared strategic interests. Yet officials downplayed the moment. There were no grand announcements, just a quiet acknowledgement that something important had happened. Why was this contract different? What made this deal so shrouded in secrecy and caution? It wasn't just about buying ships, it was about building a new type of deterrence, one that relied on capability and readiness, not just public perception. Powerful enough to matter, quiet enough to avoid unwanted attention, at least until the ships were safely on their way. The strategy was to strengthen without provoking, to prepare without boasting. The Navy wanted capability, not just headlines. They sought real strength, not fleeting publicity. This was how modern navies maneuver in a tense neighborhood, with both strength and subtlety, shaping the balance of power from the shadows, one quiet contract at a time. Why hide such a powerful purchase? The answer lies in the choppy waters of the South China Sea. Tensions run high, rival navies patrol, eyes always watching. For the Philippines, every new weapon is a message, sometimes reassuring, sometimes provoking. By keeping the HDF-3200 deal low-key, Manila avoided waving a red flag. There was no need to signal every move. Instead, the Navy focused on quiet progress, investing in real capabilities rather than noisy politics. The goal was simple: surprise, not spectacle. This approach buys time. It allows the Navy to prepare, train, and upgrade without drawing immediate countermeasures from rivals. It also shows a maturing strategy, one that values operational security over showmanship. The old days of dramatic reveals were over. In this era, strength is measured not by how loudly you boast, but by how ready you are when the moment comes. The HDF-3200 is no off-the-shelf purchase. This frigate is tailored for Philippine needs, lean, lethal, and flexible. Every system, from radar to missiles, was chosen with local waters in mind. The Navy demanded more than a standard ship. They wanted a warfighter built for their own battles. This was a break from the past. Earlier ships were often second-hand or generic. The HDF-3200, in contrast, is a product of careful customization. Filipino officers worked closely with South Korean engineers. Each system was debated, tested, and refined. What does this mean in practice? The ship's sensors are tuned for the archipelago's complex coastline. Its weapons are balanced for both open-sea duels and close-in defense. Even its crew spaces reflect Filipino needs, ensuring tight teamwork in action. The result? A frigate that feels at home in Philippine waters, and one that can punch far above its weight. Modernizing a navy isn't just about buying new ships, it's about making every peso and every system count. The Philippine Navy's doctrine is built on smart upgrades and modular design. Instead of gold-plating every hull, planners pick what matters most: firepower, detection, survivability. This philosophy shaped the HDF-3200. Unlike older ships, which were hard to modernize, the new frigate is built for upgrades. Its systems are modular, able to accept new missiles, guns, or sensors as threats evolve. The Navy can adapt quickly without breaking the bank. Budget discipline is key. Instead of chasing the latest fad, leaders invest in proven technologies. They ask, what will work in our seas? What can we maintain ourselves? The answers drive design, not just for today, but for decades ahead. This careful approach means every HDF-3200 is a long-term asset, not a short-term trophy. The HDF-3200 deal didn't happen overnight. It was built on years of partnership between the Philippines and South Korea. Decades ago, Manila bought retired South Korean ships to bolster its fleet. Those early deals built trust and taught valuable lessons about technology, logistics, and training. With the arrival of the Jose Rizal-class frigates, the partnership deepened. Filipino crews learned the ropes of operating modern warships. Engineers saw up close what worked and what didn't. Every experience shaped the requirements for the next step. The HDF-3200 is the fruit of this relationship. South Korea brought industrial muscle, advanced design, and a willingness to listen. The Philippines brought clear needs and a hunger to modernize. Together, they crafted a ship that reflects both nations' strengths. This partnership is more than a contract. It's a blueprint for how smaller navies can leap forward by learning, adapting, and collaborating. What sets the HDF-3200 apart from other warships in its class? Why is it considered a game-changer for modern navies? Well, let's start with its teeth, the impressive array of weaponry it carries. The ship boasts a vertical launch system, or VLS, a rare and advanced feature for a frigate of this size, usually reserved for much larger vessels. This VLS allows the Navy to fire long-range surface-to-air missiles, giving the ship a powerful shield against aerial threats. It can intercept and destroy incoming threats from the sky, such as hostile aircraft or enemy missiles, and defend not just itself, but also protect Allied ships and vital supply convoys at sea. Next come the anti-ship missiles, which are equally formidable. The HDF-3200 can launch modern, supersonic weapons that travel at incredible speeds, able to strike enemy ships and targets far beyond visual range, giving it a decisive edge in naval battles. Its main gun, a rapid-fire naval cannon, can pound enemy ships with sustained firepower, or provide crucial fire support for ground troops operating near the coastline during amphibious operations. Smaller guns and close-in weapon systems boost the ship's defense against fast attack craft, drones, and incoming missiles, creating a layered shield. Sensors are the ship's eyes and ears, constantly scanning the environment for danger. Advanced radar, sonar, and electronic warfare systems scan for threats above, on, and below the water, ensuring nothing goes undetected. All this data flows through a sophisticated combat management system, allowing the crew to analyze information and react in seconds, not minutes, during high-pressure situations. Jammers and decoys help the ship slip away from enemy targeting, confusing incoming missiles and electronic threats. Put together, these features make the HDF-3200 a true multi-role warship, capable of fighting, surviving, and winning in any scenario, whether it's open ocean combat or coastal defense. The HDF-3200 is more than numbers on a spreadsheet. Its weapons and sensors make it a force multiplier for the Philippine Navy. With VLS missiles, the ship can defend not just itself, but nearby vessels and islands. Enemy aircraft and missiles now face a deadly new threat. The anti-ship missiles send a clear signal to rivals' approach at your own risk. Powerful radar gives commanders early warning and the chance to strike first. The frigate's electronic warfare suite can jam, deceive, and survive in the world's most crowded maritime arena. These features aren't just for show, they change how the Navy operates. Ships can patrol farther, more confidently. Commanders can take on tougher missions, knowing their ships can fight and survive. The HDF-3200's presence alone deters aggression, buying precious time in a crisis. Each ship is a floating statement. The Philippines is ready, willing, and able to defend its seas. The arrival of the HDF-3200 is more than a technical upgrade, it's a symbol of national will. For years, critics mocked the Philippine Navy as old and obsolete. Now the story is changing. These frigates bring not just firepower, but pride. With modern ships, the Navy can stand shoulder to shoulder with regional peers. Exercises with allies become opportunities to lead, not just learn. Young sailors see a future where their skills matter, where they sail on ships that earn respect at every port. The broader impact is regional. Neighbors take notice. Potential adversaries think twice. The Philippines, once seen as a minor player, now projects confidence and resolve. Each HDF-3200 in the fleet is a promise. The country will defend its freedom, its people, and its place in the world. This is the new face of the Philippine Navy, and the dawn of a new era on the high seas.